Hey folks, Mika here from the land not on most world maps again. October's been a bit of a rocky ride for the games industry. The old voice actor for Bayonetta set the interwebs abuzz with her video. A dev was apparently claiming many developers were asking Microsoft to drop their mandatory Xbox Series S requirements, and Gotham Knights had a lackluster 30 FPS console launch. It wasn't all bad though, as we got news about Silent Hill and news of a remake of Witcher 1. The good news is still coming though, as November has plenty of exciting releases. Here's our top 5 picks for the month of November. Been a while since we had a good mainstream Sonic game, and Sega has definitely taken note. After the lackluster performance of Sonic Forces, they decided to move the upcoming Sonic Frontiers into a more open-world direction. The story begins with Sonic and Co. being dragged into a wormhole of sorts and getting separated. Now it's up to Sonic and his mysterious AI companion to explore the interconnected islands to set things straight. The different islands, all with their different biomes, act as your open-world levels and are peppered with tried and true Sonic elements such as boost pads, rings, and grind rails. The game isn't completely devoid of traditional Sonic levels either though, and you'll be required to seek out and complete these to get the Chaos Emeralds, which are of course in there somewhere. Although the reception to Sonic Frontiers was initially negative on first brush, things have softened up a bit since then. Sonic fans are still keeping their hype low, but we all hope for a positive hit for the old blue hedgehog. Based on the 2010 release of Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together for the PSP, which in itself was a remake of the original 1995 one, Tactics Ogre Reborn by Square Enix seeks to bring what is considered by many a gem in the SRPG genre back to modern hardware. The story follows the lives of Denim, Katio, and Weiss as the three join a rebellion in response to a campaign against their people, which effectively borders on genocide. Things quickly escalate from there as they are quickly pulled into a web of intrigue and politics. With multiple branches and endings to the game, the story's dialogue has now been rewritten and comes packed with both English and Japanese voices. In addition to this, the soundtrack has been reorchestrated and the gameplay has been more balanced than before. If the likes of Diofield Chronicles gave you a certain itch, Tactics Ogre Reborn is here to keep you sated. After their showing in Pokemon Legends Arceus, developer Game Freak is now bringing the next iteration of Pokemon to the Switch with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Building on the previous success of their more explorative formula, this time around the world is completely open with no zones in between. Your character here is free to follow 3 main story routes: the tried and true traditional route of defeating gym leaders, exploring the region to fight the Titan Pokemon and get an item called the Urber Mystica, and finally, you can take on the rebellious student group known as the Stars. Joining you on your journey to help with traversal will be the legendary Pokemon unique to your chosen version. Your own Pokemon, meanwhile, can jump into the field with the Let's Go mechanic to help pick up items and fight their own battles. Speaking of battles, they now have a terrestrial mechanic, which in addition to giving the Pokemon a crystalline sheen, changes their element and gives them even more battle options. Either way, although it's been years, and I mean we, since multiplayer is available this time, we gotta catch them all. Developed and published by Fatshark, Darktide, set in the Warhammer 40k universe, is a successor of sorts to the team's earlier Vermintide games. Like before, you'll be taking up the mantle of some heroes to survive an onslaught of AI-controlled enemies, but this time with 4 players on your team. Unlike before though, you can customize this class to your liking, though the number of classes itself is also sadly only 4. A considerable bit of a downgrade from their old games, which had much more variety. Still, Darktide manages to stand on its own with its mix of melee and ranged combat, given that unique Warhammer 40k flavor. With so many competitive games coming out though, sometimes it might be nice to jump in with a bunch of friends and work together for a change with Warhammer 40k Darktide. Yep, that's right. Topping our picks for this month is God of War Ragnarok. Santa Monica Studio returns to complete the Norse saga for the God of War franchise, with an older Atreus and an even older, albeit wiser Kratos. both father and son have to navigate their way through the end times of Norse myth, Ragnarok. Friends and enemies, both old and new, join them on their quest, with the likes of Tyr, Mimir, Freya, and a very calm and reasonable Thor making an appearance. Kratos and Atreus are up for the ride though, as we see them romp across all the 9 realms this time. Upgraded combat now includes a grapple for more mobility, and a revamped shield system allows you to decide on what kind of defensive kit you wish to focus on, which adds on to the already fan favorites of the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos. Like before, a more matured Atreus is here to lend a hand to Kratos, with even more spells and longer combos and chains to aid in battle. With plenty of intrigue and mystery following the Norse pantheon as Odin sits behind the scenes scheming, as well as the implications of the ending of God of War 2018 hovering over their heads, we are curious to see how this story will come to a close. And that's a wrap for our top 5 picks of the month. Dollars to donuts, we're guessing many of you have the same picks as us this time, but if it's not, let us know in the comments below. What are you going to be playing come November? Here's Mika signing off from the land not on most world maps.